I'm Dr. Shivan, and in this tutorial we will see uh, how we can calculate the velocity of a character in presence of external forces. Okay, so the very basic and common external force is gravity. Okay, if we are dealing with a rigid body or solid objects in game design, so definitely there will be a component called gravity will be attached with that game object. And when we will play our game, so by default gravity will be applied on that game object. Okay, so by using this we can provide a real type of feel or real type of animation for that particular game object. So how we can achieve this gravity, or we can say how this gravity will affect the velocity uh, in runtime. So how we can calculate it using a vector calculus. So basically, as we know that game is nothing but a loop of frames. Okay, so whenever we play a game, we know that various sequence of frames are executed in sequential manner in order to provide the feel of animation. Okay, so suppose there is a character A. Okay, and if this character will move with velocity v in this direction, if there will be no external force, so this character will always move in the same direction. Okay, but what will happen if this character will have a rigid body component? Okay, so it means a external force, that is gravity, will always be attached with this character, and it always be applied on this character. So the resultant velocity will be like this. Because of this gravity, this particular character will fall down after a certain moment. Okay, so this type of motion is called projectile motion. And how this gravity will be used to achieve this type of motion, we will see here. So basically, if we deal with a game engine, so game engine may use a function which can be used or which can run in every frame. So for example, Unity uses the update function, and similarly like processing is a software which can use a draw function. So these functions are executed in every frame. Okay, so suppose delta t is a time difference between two frames. Okay, so it means delta t is t dash minus t, where t dash is a time of the occurrence of frame, suppose f2, and t is a time of occurrence of frame f1. Okay, so it means delta t can be calculated with the time of occurrence of two consecutive frames. Now suppose this particular character is initially in position m. Okay, and its initial velocity is v. Okay, so in previous videos we have seen that the position of a character can also be represented by x and y, and velocity can also be represented by x and y. So in case of uh, the moment calculation of any character, we have to calculate or we have to update uh, the position of character as well as velocity of the character in every frame. That is the only reason when a character will look like animated. So how we can calculate the updated position? So suppose in a particular frame uh, f1, the velocity, or sorry, the position of the character is m, and in the next frame f2, the position of the character is m dash. So m dash will be nothing but m plus delta t vector v. Okay, it means the velocity will be added to the position, which we have seen earlier that vector addition will be used to provide the character movement, but this vector v will be scaled by the delta t. Okay, now using this particular velocity, we will calculate the velocity of the next frame. So suppose the velocity of the next frame is v dash, so it will be calculated by the previous velocity and delta t and vector g. So vector g is nothing but the gravity. Okay, so we can see here in every frame the gravity is added to the velocity, and which causes the downward movement of the character. After a certain time, this particular position will be at the ground position. Okay, so this particular calculation of position and vector is used for every frame. Okay, and these two particular calculation is only responsible to provide the motion or movement to any character in any game design. Okay, so that's it from this video. In next video we will see uh, different vector calculus operation. Thank you.